public comment. So any public comment, please keep your comments specifically about the agenda.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I think it's really good you're looking at the communication regarding the second referendum that will be voted on tomorrow by the City Commission. I question the wisdom of a $450 lawsuit from a new attorney. I think, sir, as a head of a hospital, you are looking at legal Armageddon, sir. And you have plenty of money to work with because you have decided the city will have to pay your legal fees. So I don't think we should skimp on legal representation. What I think we should do is pause the transfer and find the most powerful, well-connected Tallahassee law firm out there. It used to be Greenberg Trog, and pay the transfer into their trust account so they not only can litigate this matter, so that they can lobby the legislature to fix HB 1645, to lobby the legislature to give you the firm availability you'll never get to without a bailout, and also to facilitate the sale of the electric utility to an investor-owned utility to end the suffering. And I'll be speaking more about that later.
Thank you. Seeing as
Mr. Chair, Jim Konish, in the wake of Mr. Bolarski's white paper issued February 7th, 2019, I wrote a letter to the Gainesville Sun. I'd appreciate you letting me finish it, sir. I put a lot of work into this. You're not going to let me use a PowerPoint. You're going to treat the citizens like they're not welcome. And you're not going to listen to any citizen, no matter how much expertise they have. And that is a disservice, sir. It is time to pull the plug on GRU's electric utility. I have closely followed and objected to the steady demise of our Gainesville Regional Utilities electric utility that has unfolded since the turn of the century. It is now imperative that our community face the reality of our current untenable situation. 7 part-time elected city commissioners with absolutely no expertise continue to wreak financial havoc county-wide. All 7 have sworn allegiance to their political party bosses and little else. Our electric generating plants are dirty, uneconomic, and antiquated, way long on base load and way short on peaking units. Our ability to bring in outside power is limited. While sophisticated investor-owned utilities erect solar farms in our backyards, we decimate forests and bring in coal laden with mercury that contaminates our fish. We are now witnessing soaring across the board rate increases, rising costs, shrinking protected revenues, and massive debt. While I worked hard on GRU governance, I now recommend a referendum to direct an independent qualified board, such as your own, sir, to vet all credible bids to buy our GRU electric utility for the following reasons. A private utility will be large enough to absorb our massive debt and horrendous decision-making. All GRU electric bills will go down by anywhere from 25 to 60%. GRU electric utility assets will go on the tax rolls to the benefit of the county, school board, and the city of Gainesville. Franchise fees could also be charged by the city and Alachua County for use of their right-of-ways. A very large and abused political ATM will be decommissioned once and for all. The State Public Service Commission would closely monitor the fuel adjustment charge and all the electric rates. Our obsolete and dirty power plants would be decommissioned sooner rather than later, which would remove massive amounts of pollution from our airshed. The GRU electric utility has become a public liability. The poor are suffering the brunt of this deteriorating financial disaster, sir. In the meantime, our local legislative delegations need to arrange for the state of Florida Auditor General to perform an operational audit of GRU, which in fact has taken place, and the city flunked it.
thank you.
Mr. Chair, Jim Konish, I commend Mr. Bolarski for this. I think it's a good idea to shed any liability you can because your balance sheet is very bad. You can pretend it's not as bad as it is, but you're just pretending. So this sheds some liability. When you study the relationship IRA with this entity, and you look at the transactions, you'll see that Ed buys more power through TA than he sells. While he's long on power, his power is uneconomic, so he can't sell it, for one. For number two, it's frequently cheaper for him to buy the power than to produce it because his arsenal is dirty, old, and uneconomic. And you can pretend that it isn't. You can pretend and try to make people believe that his retrofitted coal plants, which are not as efficient as the combined cycle, and you have one, everyone else has combined cycle solar batteries, and you basically got a donkey, the biomass plant, as your key base load asset going forward. There is no real IRP. There is no real plan to deal with your aging plants. And you're in trouble, whether you care to face it or not. Thank you.
Thanks.
Mr. Chair, I have published law books for 40 years. I'm more of a professor than a practicing lawyer. I have never seen a legal dispute like this. This is an outlier. We have the spectacle of two units of city government suing each other, which is unprecedented. Judge Windsor, a respected federal judge across the street, explained to you that there is no bottom. There is no telling where this can lead to. And we are at the edge of a cliff legally. I would like to know is if this attorney is going to file for a writ of prohibition, like you should have done in a timely fashion in the first place, to stop the last referendum to get into the voters where you were slaughtered. You dropped the ball, sir. Bolarski was RVing. You had to resign because of a bogus residency challenge. We can't afford anything like that on this. So what I would recommend that you do is reach out to the most powerful Tallahassee law firm. There's a handful of law firms that are known as the fourth branch of state government. There used to be about a dozen, but when the Republicans took over in 1991, it shrunk to about 4 or 5. It used to be Greenberg Trog. I don't know who it is now. But not only do you have to vigorously appeal Judge Wright's clearly erroneous decision, which you never would have got from Judge Mosley if you'd acted in a timely fashion, because he's from Stark. And I had talked to Mr. Walker about this. You got Judge Wright because you didn't act in time to get a writ of prohibition in the door, because by the time you challenged it, the ballots were printed. And that's on this authority, sir. That's an unforced error. And I would start paying the monthly direct transfer into the trust account of this law firm to vigorously appeal the first referendum and Judge Wright's decision, to challenge the second referendum, to develop a glitch bill, unlike the pathetic Johnson bill that died on the vine. I would get the glitch bill going, and I'd get it filed in a timely fashion with the Florida legislature to end the litigation once and for all. But there's one more thing. There will be a vote. I don't think any judge is going to stop the second referendum. They'll say you don't count the votes. They say it won't count. Put on the ballot the question. Give the voters a choice. Would you like the authority to investigate the sale of the electric utility, and whether that would be a way, instead of the deceptive, the bills are in the middle of the pack, that would be a way to actually get the bills in the middle of the pack and position this community to be out from under the burden of the disastrous decision-making that you can never rectify with $25 million a year in profit, sir. Thank you.